And welcome to the super fun, awesome, happy time pedal show. My name is Gabor, and today I'm looking at some more stuff with the Mod Dwarf. Now, more specifically, I'm looking at this. So this is one of a couple of new amp sim plugins that were released within the mod ecosystem by AIDA DSP. So there's this one as a JVCM, which is Marshall, you know, as you can sort of probably tell. There is a tweaker, which is kind of an igniter kind of style one. There's a Vibro, which is a Fender style one. And then there's another, or Vibrolux. And then there's a Twin Classic, which is only a trial version. Well, we're going to have a look at it as well today. So they released those 4 or 3, and then the 4th one soon. Amp sim plugins that you can purchase in the plugin store. And I just thought I'll give it a quick look. Now, full disclosure, Mod Audio sent me a while ago now, the Mod Dwarf. We did a whole bunch of videos with it. If you want to find out more about the whole ecosystem, mod ecosystem, watch one of these videos. There's a Mod Dwarf and there's a Mod Duo as well. We did videos with both of them. Today, I'm pretty much just looking at these plugins. I also have the TSX Overdrive, but there's a Mozztronics here. And if you would like to, you can watch a full video on it here. Just to see what it sounds like with a pedal boosting it, you know, in front of it, an analog pedal boosting it in front of it. So the layout on here is I have this. I also have, just to see what it sounds like, a clon style drive in front of it. So with this ecosystem, it's all left to right. So signal comes in here, goes into this, goes to the amplifier. I have the mod delay, which I think is really great. It's a modulated delay. Then it goes into an IR loader, and I currently have, hang on, let me zoom in here. I currently have the Greenback, Celestion Greenback 4x12 IR in there. Now there's affiliate links in the description below. If you click on those links and you buy an IR, it doesn't have to be the one I use, but any IR you'll help out the show. And from that, it goes into a gain thing, because often you need to be careful with the output, how much gain you output out of the pedal as well. But I mean, more than anything else, we're going to look at this, right? And then from there, so it goes basically guitar into the Tube Screamer or TSX Overdrive into here, and then out of there straight into my interface and straight into Logic. So there's no amps involved. This is all direct. Now let's have a quick look at what these look like. So basically, you have all 3 of them have a kind of a normal amp front. We have an off switch. You have an input, which is basically the volume going in to the plugin. You can kind of use it as a boost as well if you crank that, so you can boost the front end, a clean boost the front end of your amp. You have volume and gain. You have bass, mids, and treble. You have a depth and presence control and a master control. With this one, you kind of have 5 channels. You have a clean, crunch, rock, lead, and metal channel, which give you 5 different sort of sounds. Like with any mod ecosystem stuff, if you click on the little eye on top, it gives you it lets you know what it is. So it tells you here it's based on a Marshall JVM 410H. 5 channels, effortlessly, blah, blah, blah. The way they model it as well is they wanted to recreate the spectrum of the volume control and the spectrum of the bass and all that sort of stuff. So I think they did lots of captures to kind of make it somewhat realistic. Then, quite importantly also, you have these 3 buttons up here, which actually, so again, if you click on the little gear, it brings up... with all the mod stuff, it brings up often more controls. Now, these 3 buttons are these here, light, standard, and heavy. So that's what these 3 buttons do. Now, it's 3 different types of captures that use different CPU power. So basically, if you look down here is the CPU, that blue thing down here. So currently I'm using 69%. So that's using an overdrive, a delay, an IR loader, and this as well on top of the amp. Now, if I click on this, which is the lighter one, it drops straight down to about 10%, to about 55, 56%, even more than 10%. I was on a medium one. It was at about close to 70%. We go to the high one. It kind of starts going into the red. It's pushing the CPU a bit, but still doable. So it's still, high 70%. If you want to use lots of effects, maybe use one of the lower ones. I found sound-wise the middle one sounds just as good as the high one, to me personally, to my ears. So I'm just using that. All right, now, the signal chain, or, well, I kind of told you about the signal chain already, but to begin with anyway, I'm going to use this, which is, I call it my Vandercaster. So it's a parts guitar. You can watch a video on it here, and I'll link to it in the description below as well. It's a body that was made by Dave at Vander Guitars. It's an old Carvin, or would be now called Kieselneck, that I had lying around because I used to work for Carvin Australia for a little while, and I had this neck, which is a really, really cool neck, which Dave painted the same color as the body. And then the awesome Glyn Evans at Mr. Glyn Pedals, Mr. Glyn's pickups, not pedals. He doesn't make pedals, he makes pickups. At Mr. Glyn's Pickups sent me these, which is the Cloud 9, which is a sort of a quite high output pickup, but with a lot of clarity really to it. High output but clarity, which is really nice. And a Tui, which is the his highest output single coil sort of Strat style pickup, and a rather awesome Vega trem as well, and beautifully put together by Mr. Mark Shipton at Mark Shipton Instrument Repairs. I link to everyone below. If you live in Southeast Queensland and you want some really, really good work done on your guitars, go and check out Mark. Now, so this just goes, so the guitar goes via my Peterson Strobosome tuner, that's always on my desk, into the TSX, into this, into my Audient ID44 interface, into the DI front input up the front, and straight into Logic. Now, with the pedals turned off, just the amp sim with that Celestion 4x12 cabinet. Let's just go to neck pickup. It sounds like this. So this is a clean channel. Let's crank the volume a little bit and see what we... Let's go bridge pickup. That's fairly hot pickup. The clean channel, even if you crank the volume gain, with humbuckers it will go ever so slightly crunchy. But it doesn't get distorted, so it's clean. It's definitely clean. You can turn up maybe a little bit. That's a cool sound. Now you can, you have heaps of controls. You can go into here. You have, you can change the actual frequencies of your bass. You can change the mid frequencies, the Q of the mid frequencies. You can change it to a peak or a band pass. So you can kind of, because you can hook expression pedals and stuff up to it, you can kind of turn the EQ on it into a wah just about. I mean, if you go to band pass. There's a lot there, but let's just keep it at peak. You have treble, and where your treble frequencies lie, you have depth, present, and output. So you've got lots of control. I won't go into too much into all that stuff. I just want to see what it sounds like. Now, to me, that sounds pretty cool. That's sort of a slightly overdriven Marshall clean. Now, let's turn on the tube screamer to see what that sounds like. I think it takes it rather well. Now what we can also do is we can turn this delay on. It takes a pedal in front of it rather well. Let's go, let's turn it off. Okay, let's check out just I mean, this is clean. You can also actually, with the input, you can push the front of it a bit more. tube screamer on top of that. So it does it quite well. Let's actually check out this Klon style drive. It's quite spiky. I prefer the tube screamer. I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, I mean, to me that sounds pretty cool. It feels pretty good too. So you can kind of push that. And I mean, that's just one of the channels. Now if we go to crunch, it kind of, so this is with all the drives and everything off. It kind of leaves off where the first one, oh, it starts with the other one left off. Again, we can push the input a little bit. Or we can kind of clean it up a little bit more. A cleaner drive, not as compressed. Let's try the rock channel. Try the tube screamer thing. So it's a bit flabby in the bottom end. It needs a gate, noise gate too. Can we do the thing where we turn the gain down and the volume up? Yeah, it works. So if you want to do that, that works. Sounds pretty good. Again, you can push the front end. It compresses a lot more when you do that. It feels quite different. It sounds pretty cool to me, and then you have metal on top of that. Well, actually, let's see. Gain it up. Now let's try that same sound. Ooh, it's a different hiss. Maybe it's ever so slightly fuller sound, but it's not drastically different. Okay, metal. Much more open, less compressed. other test. Does it clean up? Yep, it cleans up. All right, I mean, that's kind of that amp. It's a cool sounding amp. I think you can pretty much with that, you can get away with just about anything because you have 5 channels that are quite distinctively different. So, I mean, you've got a clean, is it a Marshall style clean? Marshall style, all the sounds are Marshall. It's based on a Marshall. So, okay, let's try out one of the other ones just to see what it's like. So let's try out, let's go something completely different. Let's go to Vibro. So this is sort of based on a Fender Vibro Lux. Let's just plug it in. Now with this one, you have 4 different capturing. I don't know how in depth the capturing was. You've got super light, light, standard, and heavy. And again, it gives you different. So I mean, with super light, we're down at 50% CPU power. If we go to the next one, it's like 56-ish. Next one, 70-ish. Next one, high 70s. So let's just go, I don't know, let's go to third one. And I mean, same thing. So you've got an input, you've got, in this case, you've got, instead of the 5 channels, you've got a normal and a bright. You've got volume, bass, middle, treble, depth, presence, and master. Again, if you click on this, it shows you what it is. It's a custom Vibro Lux reverb, you know, AIDA DSP, blah, 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 blah. If you click on this, you have all the same extra controls that you have in that as well. So you can really shape the way your EQ sits, and you can shape a lot of things in this. So let's check it out. Vibro Lux. Oh, volume's all the way down. Very clean, very, very clean. Now, can we make it drive a bit? That got very loud. I like that sort of slightly driven clean sound. It's got a lot of bottom end. Single coils, that's a kind of sound I would use on single coils. I mean, it's a 4x12 into as well. Let's quickly change that. Now, I wish there would be some way you could put things into folders in this. You could say, this is my folder with all the 4x12s. It's all just in one list, which to me is, it just means you look for ages. Let's go, for example, I know it's not the right thing. Oh, what about a 4x10 actually? Let's go 4x10, all the microphone. It's got a very distinct sort of mid-haul presence. The Vibro Lux is the one that has, it's a 3x10, isn't it? I think it's a 3x10. We do have the bright channel too. let's see what it sounds like with the, let's not do that. Let's just do like a normal tube screamer setting. Let's see what it sounds like with the tube screamer. Pretty cool. Let's do some delay. It's getting a bit loud. Let's try that instead. Sounds pretty cool. I mean, it's a single channel amp, it's clean. If you want something clean that stays very clean, again, different IRs will make it sound quite different as well. I just use a 4x10. Let's go that Triad Igniter, the tweaker. So this one actually also super versatile because you have, you really have 3 different flavors of amp. You have an AC style, which is, I guess, like an AC. You've got a British style, which I guess is like a Marshall-y, and then US, which is, I guess, like a Fender kind of style. Again, with the 3 different capturing intensities. I don't know, is that what we call it? Maybe let's go, because it's got an AC kind of thing in it. Let's go and find, let's go Celestian Blue. Celestian Blue. Let's go to closed back. And just a 121 and 57. Let's go that and see what it sounds like. So we need to. So this is quite dark. It's in treble and presence up a bit. Reverb would be nice. Let's add some reverb to it. What about... Okay, well, let's check this out, because these are quite CPU intensive. Is this going to drive it over the edge? So let's go, I don't know, let's go before the delay. Let's plug both sides in. I don't know, I never know if you should do that or not, but I'm just going to plug both sides in. Also, and we are on the lightest setting, yes. If you use a lot, but it seems to still be working all right. So we just want. Ooh. Maybe let's get rid of this one. Yeah, so that's one thing you got to look out for. You can run out of DSP. So if I go to one of the high ones, you get that clipping. We're over the edge already. Maybe let's get rid of the delay as well, just so we're not. Definitely not clipping. Reverb instead of delay now. they are quite CPU intensive, these reverbs. That's sort of one of the reasons why I'm doing this as well. Let's gain it up a bit more. I'm clipping the output of it. That's quite nice. I mean, maybe it's maybe a little dark again, but the output now is overdriving. That's one of the things you always got to watch out for with this stuff too. That sounds pretty good though. Crank the gain. Maybe let's turn it's gonna dry up a little bit more. That's it, that's good. I quite like that. That's because it may be a little bit on the dark side of things. Let's boost the input. All right, now let's try the Brits. So this is more based on a British style, I guess Marshall-esque. This. I mean, let's go. Let's turn this off for a second. I quite like that. It's a good sound, maybe. That sounds great. All right, USA. punch to it. Like I said, a little dark, I find. Yeah, I mean, treble and presence are all the way up. Well, we could try a different, instead of the 2x12 close back, I don't know, let's try, what is that, divided by 13 one? Yeah, not a big fan of that. One of the angles? Maybe, what about that Emil Robbie guy? I don't think the IRs necessarily brighten it up. Let's go back to, oh, what about one of these, like a G1266 2x12 open back. Well, let's go with that. Play. The tweaker's probably, it's a little on the dark side, but it's probably one of my favorite sounding ones of them all. Let's try that USA with the TSX. So well. Yeah, I mean, that's those three. We can quickly have a look at that. It's only a trial version, the Twin Classic. See, trial plugin will intentionally mute the audio at regular intervals because I think it's still only a beta plugin. So let's zoom in at that. This is a fair bit quieter. Drives a bit more than the other, the Vibro Lux. Oh, this is the silence. Yeah, I quite like that. Now, does this have a presence control and depth? Yes, maybe. There's the silence again. Silence. I think that sounds really good. I really quite like the Twin Classic, so when that comes out, I think that's going to be a really good one. So this was a rather quick, almost 40 minutes, but rather quick look at these new AIDA amps. I think they're really quite good. I liked a lot of the stuff that was on here previously, so I really liked the Onyx. And you can watch a video on the Onyx up here. I always really liked that one. I thought that was a really cool amp sim plugin. This, I do like it. It is really nice. Probably to me, I mean, if you want super clean and that super clean Fender thing, get the Vibro Lux. This one, I think, to me, because it has a bit of that driven side, the Vibro Lux is too clean almost. This sounds, you know, like a pushed, depending on the IRs you use, you can probably do like a push deluxe or this, I think, could be quite nice. The Marshall style one is probably the most versatile. The Tweaker maybe was the most pleasing to my ears sounding one. I mean, you have in a JVCM, you have the Marshall style one. In a Tweaker, you have the more AC style one. And then in the Twin Classic and a Vibro, you have the Fender style one. So you've got the three different worlds, and you have two slightly different worlds. I think the Twin Classic, that can almost go to a little bit of like a tweed style, Fender tweed style kind of vibe, especially pushed with things like a Tube Screamer style pedal. Anyway, quick look at these amps. Let me know what your thoughts are. I also did a video on the Captor thing, the AIDA X. You can watch that up here. It's just a quick video. If there's anything in particular you want me to do with any of this stuff, let me know in the comments below and I'll try my best to do it. And other than that, yeah, big thank you to Mod Audio for sending me a Mod Dwarf and for giving me access to all these plugins. Darren at Mozztronics, all the people involved in the guitar. Yeah, and thank you all for watching. Please make sure to subscribe, hit the like button. But almost 90% of all people that watch our channel are not subscribed. So if you do like what we do and if you've made it this far into the video, why not hit subscribe and, you know, help us out a bit. And on that note, see you in the next one. Bye.